Next, we have another character. This is Andy. Andy is also a
In their home in Oxon Hill, Maryland, 9-year-old Mackenzie West and her mother Nicole settled in for what has become their daily routine.
Emily.
Our school starts at 8 o'clock. So at 8, we have to have her dressed and she has to be sitting in front of Zoom.
Mackenzie has cerebral palsy, autism, and other developmental delays.
With her, she also has vision issues as well. So she's not going to look at the screen for a long period of time. She'll look and then she'll turn off. So basically, I'm sitting there coaching her, encouraging her, singing to her.
My.
Yes, mommy sings to you.
My.
Mommy.
My.
And I am the educator.
My.
1, 2, and 3.
Before the pandemic, Mackenzie was able to attend school on an individual education plan that was suited to her needs.
And she would get a lot of exercise. She would be walking, brain activity. She would be around her friends in school, her classmates. And she would come home, excited. And that was the day-to-day process. And then the pandemic hit and there's no school.
You gonna give me iPad? Bye-bye iPad. Thank
While
you.
this can be challenging to most students, for kids with special needs in their families, the stakes are much higher.
For students who aren't able to access their curriculum, whether because they have very severe disabilities or maybe even physical impairments, they're just simply not getting an education. We need to find a way to work together to find a solution for these kids, because what's happening right now is many of them are starting to regress.
It's a similar situation for 6-year-old Charlotte, who lives in Bethesda, Maryland.
Charlotte actually has a litany of diagnoses. So she's been diagnosed with NAA10, which is the gene name. So rare it doesn't have another name. She's also been diagnosed with autism, and her very first diagnosis when she was 11 months old was a global developmental delay, which is what kicked all of this off, was the knowledge that she wasn't developing the way a typical child should.
Previously, Charlotte was in school 5 hours a day.
So she was getting on the bus in the morning, really excited, right, Sophie, to get on the bus in the morning and go to school. She had not only special education there, but she had a class of, at the time it was 4 or 5 kids, and they would receive physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy.
Her sister Sophie, in 3rd grade, does her own virtual class in her room. Her parents work in other parts of their home. And at their kitchen table, Charlotte participates in her class as her nanny, physical therapist, and teachers try to keep her engaged. As her frustration mounts, she bangs her head intentionally.
And the reason she's not wearing a helmet now is that they're supposed to be sending us another one because she grew out of her old one and they're fitted medical helmets. She needs these people to be with her in person. She can't, sit in a chair for more than literally 5 seconds unrestrained. It's impossible. This whole situation is impossible.
Both families are supplementing what the county is providing virtually with physical and speech therapy and other services, paying out of pocket what insurance doesn't cover.
I've given up on ever retiring. I mean, that's probably never going to happen, but we can't, there's not going to be anything left to pull from soon.
School officials in Montgomery County have said that their return to school plans prioritize children in special education, which means students could be back in school by January 12th. Prince George's County Public Schools said that all students will continue remote learning until further notice, but are seeking additional ways to support students with special needs. As coronavirus cases continue to surge, much remains uncertain.
It's impossible for me to work a job to do this. I have a husband and he travels a lot, he works. I am the one that has to do all of this. It's not working for us.
You want to hug again? We keep hugging, we're not going to be able to do any classwork.
These severe special needs kids, they need in-person intervention. And we know we can do it safely with minimal risk. We would never want to put our teachers in danger or in a compromised position. Those for whom it's possible to come in person, let them come in person and let them do their jobs. I remember when I first started talking about this publicly, I got a couple people reach out to me on Twitter, for example, and say, oh my God, you want to kill your child. And I just said, I can't speak for every kid because every situation is different, but I do know that for my kid, she needs to go back to school.